What am I doing here, honey?
Go north.
North, roger, thank you.
Yep.
And Chad, I don't know if you spoke about it yet, but this warm water flow is most likely due to a ridge flank hydrothermal system. It's not necessarily the old volcano activity, but the water is coming in from elsewhere and then coming out here after being warmed up under the seafloor. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's one of the amazing things about this is when we first discovered it, we did not, the Hercules temperature probe was not accessible with the configuration of the vehicle at that time. So when we saw the warm water, or what we thought is probably warm water, we couldn't confirm it. And unfortunately, we couldn't dive the rest of that trip in this area. So we had to wait for the Alvin expedition 5 or 6 months later, and then confirmed it was warm. But in between that time, National Geographic ran an article and had done an interview, and they kind of misquoted me a little bit, but I said, we think it could be warm because of the shimmer, but they published that I said it is warm. But Mbari and Bruce Robeson were questionable of that theory because they noted that this place has been geologically dead for almost 10 million years. And like you said, Erica, it's not because of an active volcanic site or magma's close to the surface or anything like that. The theory is this low temperature ridge flank hydrothermal system where water's coming in through the seamount a few miles away through the porous volcanic rock, and it travels underneath on the top, kind of in the top layer of the Earth's crust. It's just warmer there, right? It's like putting a blanket on. It's going to warm you up. It travels under the sediment cap, which kind of keeps all the water in the porous rock. And then just through a pressure gradient, like squeezing your toothpaste, it comes out of areas that are weak or where pressure can be released. And that's other volcanic, or doesn't always have to be volcanic, but it can be other porous rock. So this is a volcanic cone in kind of a sea of a thick sediment cap around it. So this water is traveling underground underneath the sediment, and then it finds these weak points and jets out the top. And in that process, it's been warmed, and oxygen's been lowered, and it's been slightly chemically altered.
Thanks.
We are currently at 3,084 meters deep, and the temperature is 1.6 degrees Celsius, so just above freezing.
What is Dr. Robinson up to these days? Is he still...
He's still around, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what he's been working on recently, but I had corresponded with via email after that article because they had interviewed him too, and I wrote him. I said they kind of misquoted me. I didn't say it was warm, but what do you think? And then he was also honest with me. He said they kind of misquoted me too. I didn't say it was impossible. I just said it was dead for 10 million years, but he said it had their geologists kind of flummoxed on there about it.
It's a better story if you guys were at opposed to each other.
Yeah.
Rather than like, well, let's just think about it for a bit.
Yeah, because we have, you know, on the Central Coast, in certain canyons like Monterey Canyon, we certainly have cold seeps where methane is coming out of fault lines and cracks. But the temperature is really no different. It's just chemically altered, and we've seen, Eric and I have been out with Mbari. When we were on Sur Ridge, we discovered one of these seeps on top of Sur Ridge. It had a bacterial mat, it had chemosynthetic clams on top. It was a really cool community, but it's not warm, quote unquote. So this is the first area of warm water that's been discovered on the Central Coast. And I think, you know, south of the Mendocino Escarpment.
Roger. One of my first times flying an ROV was in must have been well, it was in the 90s sometime. Anyways, it was on Point Lobos with Ventana and Dr. Bruce Robinson in the seat. I was there as we had put a new arm on the machine from Schilling, so I drove it down and we stuck it on there and took it out. And anyways, I got to fly the ROV for the first time, and it was chasing midwater gelatinous jellies, and I think I lasted less than 5 minutes in the chair. Get this guy out, he can't fly at all. You guys still have that boat around, or is it
The Point Sur?
They replaced it with the
the
Carson.
Point Lobos?
Yeah, they replaced it with the Rachel Carson.
Oh, yeah.
But the Ventana still, the ROV.
Yeah, Ventana just celebrated its, how many dives? Some, this insane number of dives on that ROV. I can't remember the exact number now.
$3,000 in 2007. Look on the web. I'll keep looking.
3,000.
2017, they had 16,000 hours 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'll keep looking. It must be a more up to date.
Yeah, it was something around.
It's a workhorse.
Some round number that was.
I was Googling as well. It says 4,000th dive in February 2017.
Can we get a zoom of that sponge?
Yeah,
That
go ahead,
sponge?
zoom.
That's pretty spectacular.
That is nice.
That's good, thanks.
Where's Amanda Khan when you need her?
Yeah, this is an unknown. We don't know what this one is.
Yeah.
We gave it a number.
Thank you.
Cool.
It almost looks like the collar that some
Victorian collar.
yeah.
Oh, like Shakespeare wore or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Queen Victoria.
Or the
Queen
Ruth
Victoria there.
Ginsburg collar.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we gave it a fancy name, Peripera species number 4.
Oh, that's the number 4. Okay. I remember her saying that earlier today. Okay.
West, right?
Yeah, west. I don't know if Argus will pull you any more north. I think we're probably okay.
Basically under it still, am I? Out in front a little bit.
Out west a little, yeah. So we should be good. Doing that for 100 meters, and then we'll step south and do 100 meters east.
Right.
Sounds good.
Chad and I were on the West Flyer with Embari recently, and when their ROV, the Doc Ricketts, celebrated their thousandth dive, They turned on the disco ball in the control room. We did a little dance.
You still have the disco ball hanging in the ROV bay in there?
Yeah, this one, they may have got an upgrade. It's got lights and it circulates and it's actually like a real disco. Not just the mirrored ball, but it's got rainbow lights.
It projects rainbow lights all over the place.
A subsea one or one in the
Just in the van, the control room.
Yeah.
Hercules is on its 825th dive.
You're gonna need a disco ball
Gotta-
soon.
I know.
I was gonna say you got 175 dives to get a disco ball.
Oh, there's our friend, the octocoral. So
Yeah.
our yield track must be a bit.
Where are you looking?
That octocoral right behind the rock that we landed on.
Oh,
The
yeah.
succulent.
Is that the same one?
I think it must be.
Yep.
I mean, we're off
Yep.
by a little, but I don't know.
It does seem familiar.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah, it's the track. I'm doing my best.
Oh, you think we're in the same exact spot again?
Well, it's hard to say. We'll look at the photos.
Yeah.
And we'll know.
Yeah, because the map shows us a little off.
Right, yeah.
But
20 meters off, right?
Yeah.
oh wait,
look,
there's a baby
baby.
octopus.
Zoom in a little, Steve.
Okay, so that's just hatched. That is a hatchling.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's good. Good. Thanks.
So that is the second one we've seen today.
Wow.
Zoom in a little more.
Be free.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks.
So that's what they look like when they hatch.
Wow.
You're so cute.
Wow.
It's a good looking one. Looks happy, healthy.
Coming
There's
wide.
no egg sac left.
Yeah,
sac left.
exactly. So when we've, they're accidentally or a predator elicits what we've been told is an early hatching event, they actually hatch with a to-go bag. And the rest of their egg yolk sac, essentially, is attached to them. So they have a little energy to go with them to help them kind of,
That's cool.
I don't know, maybe finish their development. But they have like an early ejection system, I guess. If they're in danger, they can get out of there early.
I wonder where it's going. Seems like a bad strategy to get up in the water column with a
Coming wider.
fish swimming by.
I know, that's what I've always thought is like they swim up in the column and they're kind of they're subject to the bottom currents, given how small they are, and we just don't know where they go and what they do and how
I wonder
many.
if they have to aerate their arms when they get out of that eggshell to get, I don't know, mucus off or anything. Maybe that's why they're swimming.
Yeah, huh.
Just start flapping their tentacles.
So that's cool.
When we were watching that, we saw a couple, or at least one, sea spider on the seafloor. We'll let you see one again. Those big spindly legs.
Yeah, I saw one in the water column earlier.
Well, everyone, I think I had good instincts. I was supposed to sign off at 2 o'clock, but I needed to see that baby octopus. That was a real treat. But I wanted to thank everybody. You guys did such a nice job answering questions and appreciating some humor and the public and where they're at. And I want to wish you all well. And thanks for letting me join in for a couple hours of your watch. And I'll keep watching Chad be on watch.
Thanks, Justin.
Well, at this point, my
Thank
watch
you.
is coming up in less than 2 hours, so. No, thank you, Justin. That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Justin.
Justin.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody for chiming in.
Yeah, this is a treat. It's been real spectacular. Pioneer Canyon for 2 days and all of these octopus. It's been great. All right, everybody, have a great night.
Good night.
All right.
I should say to the public, I'm closing down the messages. So won't be monitoring the chat, but
Oh, there's
stay tuned.
a baby off of the,
action's
what
taken.
cam is that?
Oh, the
that's
starboard
cam.
cam.
Yep.
Or that
Or
might
is
be a
it-
big one in
Oh,
the
it's a big
background.
one in the background. That's what it is. Yeah.
Just on our tail, following us.
I'm seeing it from the back row, and it's so small, I thought it was a hatchling.
I think the next best thing to a hatchling is the illusion of hatching.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I think with an AI or citizen science count, you could, based on posture, make some assumptions for gender.
Mm.
Yeah, it could be a good search image for the
Mm-hmm.
AI too.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably with, I wouldn't say it's a limitation, but one of the reasons why it's perhaps not done more often is the amount of video there would be, the amount of, which would be a small amount of video there is, versus the hours to program it to classify, as opposed to a human classifying it and counting. Until there's a lot of video to watch, where it becomes human prohibitive as far as amount of hours. Seems like that's why.
I'm okay with humans still being important,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
What do these guys eat down here?
Well, the females aren't eating, right? I don't know what the males are eating.
Yeah, you know, it's
I'll
interesting.
look it up.
Like all these females find this spot. I can understand how they can detect warm water once they're close to the source, but is it just a random assortment of females that
Whoa.
end up here in the area, then find the warm water, and that's why they concentrate? Or do they know how to get here? There's a lot of mystery there. But the females, once they're down and brooding, they don't eat. They're done.
It'd be interesting to know how long they go not feeding. For a lot of species, including marine mammals, so seals and sea lions and seabirds, like penguins, emperor penguins, the female are really pushed to their energetic edge, given the expenditure of energy into the eggs, and then the brooding period when they aren't able to feed, and it really can put them into a real deficit by the end of the breeding season.
Mm.
Another takeoff here. So that's a male for sure.
Yeah, I can see that third leg that you were describing.
Yeah.
All right, if you continue west, I will bump the ship down and then start our eastward movement.
You're going to come south now, are you?
Roger. Bridge nav. 30 meters south. Thank you. It's quite a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
If you are just joining us, we are doing a kind of a spiral path up a volcanic cone on the southeast flank of Davidson Seamounts. We are trying to get some more information on this newly discovered octopus brooding site, affectionately known as the octocone. It was discovered last year.
This sponge, it looks like there's several bases. I don't know if it's one sponge or several.
Mm.
Well, maybe it's just roughly. Cool looking. Earlier, we were trying to decipher whether these were stalked crinoids or black corals. Now I'm leaning towards being a stalked crinoid. But they are plentiful.
I've seen a bit of both. From what I saw, this looks like a black coral.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know we are rushing, but if there's an opportunity to zoom in on one of these, it would be cool to see if they're polyps or not.
Yeah, if we can do a quick zoom, that's fine.
All right, go ahead, Steve. Zoom in.
Yeah, you're right. I think that might be umbellapathes.
Umbellapathes, because it's
the black coral. I'm just guessing. But yeah, it does look like a black coral, like you said.
So we're seeing polyps sticking off of each of the fronds. Beautiful. So black coral are long-lived species. Of deep sea coral.
Thanks for the zoom. That was good.
Okay.
Just a little more west, and then and hopefully you feel that south move, and we'll come back. Bridge nav. (100) meters, bearing east. Thank you.
Erica, do you know if how much Alan Andrews and others have done with the coral aging, or other scientists, in terms of the black corals?
I don't. I think Alan has attempted it, and I don't know what the results have been.
Okay.
Have to look into it.
I just recall that those researchers from Stanford and UC Santa Cruz, when they discovered that one black coral off of Hawaii was over 4,000 years old because of with carbon-14 dating.
Wow.
So I was just looking it up here, and the precise number was 4,270 years.
Wow.
It was a black coral. It was, where is it here? It was Leopathes. I'm not familiar with that genus, but it's another Pathes. And so yeah, it would be just interesting if, because I haven't been involved in any of the coral aging stuff, if Bathopathes, Lillipathes, all these others have been tested at all since their cousin in Hawaii is up to 4,000 years old.
I'm looking at a paper with some of Alan's colleagues, but it's Di Tracy from Australia, and they aged the black coral Bathopathes patula, and it turned out with the carbon-14 dating, and it was estimated to be over 385 years old. They grow at a linear growth rate of less than 10 millimeters per year, and radial growth of 35 microns per year.
I was going to say, it's got to be so
slow
little.
growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what size these were. But they don't get real large. They're probably a foot tall, maybe? The tiny redwoods of the deep sea.
Sound like bonsais.
Although those grow slowly too.
Well, bonsai trees are the ones that are grown in small pots just to keep them small, but they get very old.
Oh, okay.
So in carbon-14 dating these coral skeletons, they actually look for signatures from past nuclear blasts and the known dates and years of those blasts as spikes that help specifically place the carbon-14, like the chronology of the specimen to see how old it is. It's pretty fascinating that blasts like that affected everything, even in the deep sea. At least that fingerprint of those human activities are visible in the skeletons of each of these coral. Belopathes really seems to be quite abundant.
Mm-hmm.
I need to turn west now, do I?
You can go as far west as your extent, and the ship's coming east now.
East. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go out as far west as you can, and it'll still be uncovered ground, and then we'll go east when Argus tugs you.
Yeah, it'll be down the hill to the west.
Yeah. So we'll get it on the uphill.
Right. So it'll have some more south, will it?
Doesn't seem like it. Seems like that's about as south as you get. So,
Roger.
yeah. So it looks like we're doing a decent job there. Maybe a little south. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's probably all the west you'll get, because Argus seems to be going east.
Yeah, getting tugged a bit.
I'm trying for a peek, but can't do it. Not on that heading.
That tall stalk we just saw was a lepidisis, which is a bamboo coral.
Yeah, I was trying to give you a shot at it, but come down a couple meters, would you?
Yep. All right. Coming down.
There it is.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
I think today there was a presentation by a couple of different scientists about aging with deep sea coral. Steve and
Ready
Karina.
to come up?
I assume that is still viewable on
You
the
are a
Nautilus
single
website.
digit.
Does anyone know?
Yeah. Got pretty close there.
I'll come up the hill for it. Trying to get some new ground there, but
That looks good.
if you hold it there, let me catch up.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed that talk today.
Is it still viewable?
The past ones that were on Facebook Live are still viewable on their Facebook page. I don't know about the website.
Yeah, so good place for people to take a look. Spectacular sponges on this wall.
Mm.
Yeah, it seems to be an active site here.
Look at the pillowy lava here.
Yeah.
See, did I do that or you did that? You did that.
Yeah. I came around.
You got it. Flippy floppy. You gotta come around the other way, I think.
Undo your 6-8 wrap.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying, dude?
I can, yeah. I can come. It's the same way. I need to go all the way around again.
You do? Yeah, other way, I think. Is that me?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, maybe it's you.
It's you. Negative wrap, so I gotta turn right.
Oh, is that another species of black coral?
Let's come back around, wait till I catch up to you. Or hold what you got there, you're putting more.
That doesn't be that bushy one we saw earlier, that really large one. Might be the same type.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is there a Chrysopathes, or am I mixing up Chrysogorgia? I thought there was a Chrysopathes too.
There is. I'm not familiar with that one. I'm gonna look at the data sheet.
I don't know if this is that.
Come back around, Jake.
Going.
Other counterclock.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. But it was black coral.
Unidentified black coral.
There you are.
All right, I guess I'll take
So
the wrap
this,
up. Sorry, a little tether management here. Not sure how we did that.
I'm curious if anyone in the control van has filmed a live lava flow with an ROV, or is that just too dangerous to do?
No one, I haven't. Dan, have you?
What's that?
Have you filmed a live lava flow on it?
Yeah, yeah, yes and no. There is some footage of the Ring of Fire, I think in 2003 or 4, where they're getting live lava flow.
Mm.
We went into caldera the day after an eruption.
Wow.
It's really horrible visibility.
I imagine the temperature goes up a little bit on the HERT probe.
Yeah, I think not a time I would want poor visibility. So this area is considered a hydrothermal vent system. It is a low temperature hydrothermal vent system. And I believe there are only 3 such systems known in the world. Chad, do you know anything more about that?
Chad stepped out.
Okay.
He spoke about it earlier, but I think this may be the third one recorded.
Look back to the east.
Yep.
Sorry, did I mess you up?
I'm completely lost and wrapped here.
Yeah. I think if you keep going east, it'll...
Am I too far south or what? What's that mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Shouldn't be, but maybe. It looks like the tether's going straight aft on Argus, which would be west, so I think if you keep driving east, you'll catch up. Hard to say. Yeah, there's your lights in down cam. Coming.
Hold the west heading, that east heading for a while. Jake,
Yep.
let me get back,
Hold it.
back in the box here.
I can slow the ship moves to 0.2 if you want as well.
No,
Give you a little more time.
I just spent too much time down the hill there,
Yeah.
paying for it now.
Still good coverage.
Okay, now I know where I am. In the rocks.
We are currently about 8 hours into a 20-hour dive. The objectives of this particular dive is to collect scientific equipment that was left at a different octopus site, which is called the Octopus Garden. Those temperature loggers, dissolved oxygen loggers were left in October of 2019. So we are really excited to go and recover those equipment and see what has been logged over all of this last year. We are also here to further characterize this octopus nursery, which was discovered in 2019. We are trying to get a minimum population count by doing the spiral transit around the cone. We are occasionally measuring in situ temperature and dissolved oxygen of the seeps. If you've been here long enough, that was when we put kind of the manipulator arm with an instrument down into the cracks. And we are also, we have collected some biological samples from the seeps. We collected some tube worms. We are also just trying to document the distribution and abundance of deep water corals, sponges, fish, and other biota, which will be done by post-processing these videos, having specialists in each of those areas review video footage. So some of the samples that are collected in this area are going to be used to look at age and growth rates and climate influences on these deep sea species. And lastly, we later tomorrow morning, we are going to use the ROV to revisit a whale fall that was discovered in October of 2019, so 1 year ago. And we're going to see what is left. When it was first discovered, it was about presumed to be about 4 months old. And so we're going to go back and see what's left and possibly collect some bones and things. So that's going to be tomorrow morning, I guess this morning, sorry, sometime between 7 and 10, I believe. So that's what we're up to.
That was a great summary. Thanks, Kirsten.
Chad's back after a 15-minute nap. That's all he'll be sleeping.
After we finish this cone area, we'll be migrating over to the whale fall. And there's a knobby area that we might, if we have time, we'll take a peek at to see if it has similar octopus or worm vent areas like this. We're making good headway on this cone characterization here. The ROV pilots have been circling around like putting whipped cream on the top of your cupcake.
Yeah, the ROV
You're
path
making me.
doesn't quite match the nice, neat ship path.
It's a good DP check.
What's that?
It's a good DP check. It looks pretty dead on. No, still covering new ground all the time, so good.
Very interesting to have a snail trail on Argus.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, filtered
Yeah,
USBL
some
trail.
filters and a snail trap. Really helpful.
This posture of this octopus seems to be characteristic of the male posture.
What is all that fuzzy stuff on that rock? Just past it.
Oh, that is cool.
No idea yet.
Yeah, I still can't figure it out. What is that?
Yeah,
Might be zoanthids.
zoanthids and all.
They're
You
tall
want to
ones,
zoom
though.
quickly there?
Yeah, it does look like that. But where they? What is the line? It's weird.
It's weird they're in like a trail. Are they all connected?
Okay, that's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Oh my.
Never
So that's
seen.
not zoanthids. That's a soft coral.
Those are soft corals in a weird base.
That
Like,
I've never seen anything
never
like
seen.
this.
And you can see the closed polyp ones right up in the center left.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
We might need to spend a
pretty
couple minutes
fascinating.
here.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll be okay for that.
Okay, we'll be okay for that.
I think so. Wow, I
Can we get lasers on?
never seen.
They're on. I think we're just tilted down on our.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's like this soft coral has grown a base in a lateral fashion,
Yeah.
kind of like ivy or something.
Never seen anything like that.
What?
Wake
in the
up,
world?
Steve.
It's not one of the floaty guys that have landed on the rock, is it?
Huh.
It looks pretty attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any like gaps
What?
or anything. I think this is like a, yeah, like a sprawling weed or something.
You guys want to come in for a closer zoom?
Wow.
It's like an encrusting soft
Sure.
coral.
Let's see. Do I need to back up?
These are weird.
45.
It's full zoom.
I mean, Erica, this is new to us, isn't it? I mean, I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't know what this is at all. Huh.
Somebody did ask a question a while back about if new species are ever discovered, and yes.
Yeah.
Not saying this is one, but usually these dives, there is a new sample at least at some point.
You want to come back north, Dan? Or are you okay with the?
I'm okay.
Trying to see if it's moving anymore. It's hard to say.
Come down 5 meters.
Yes.
What?
So definitely some sort of octocoral, huh?
Yeah.
Coming wide.
Wow. It just keeps going. And there's some below too. All those polyps are drawn in the lower left, it looks like. Wow.
So weird.
There is a type of soft coral that's an encrusting octocoral, but I don't.
Okay. We moving or sampling or?
Yeah, let's stay here a little bit. Let's get some video or a little bit more video kind of across left to right or right to left, whatever. And then if we were to sample this, I mean, that base looks like it's probably firmly attached to the rock. But if we wanted to get some polyp material or a couple of polyps, what do you think?
Probably slurp some up, I would guess.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah? You want more video first?
Yeah, a little more video if we can get, I don't know if we have to move closer, if we're close enough to get some.
Yeah, I can come closer.
Just to get some really tight shots of those polyps for any kind of diagnostic. It's one of those things we'll probably send it to someone. They're like, oh yeah, this is blah, blah, blah. But even if it is,
When I bump at least 10 north, that's all right.
I know, I've never seen it at Davidson.
No, we haven't seen on any of our dives. It's Sur Ridge or here.
Yeah.
Bridge nav. 10 meters north.
Hmm.
I've never seen it.
I think it should be called feather boa octocoral.
Feather boa.
Try zoom there, Steve, see if we're any better.
I'm wondering if the string, there's like a ribbon on the left that might be loose. Too easy to pick up, maybe.
Wow.
So cool.
They are
Awesome.
connected.
Full zoom.
I mean, this is so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Zoom
Really
out for just a second, Steve. Sorry. That's good. Hold that. Okay, zoom back in. Is that all the way, is it?
That's full zoom.
Roger.
And it like branches out too, the base.
You see the base of it looks like translucent almost, except for at the top. I can't quite tell what that is, where it looks almost like a green color, but I don't think that's part of the soft coral. Not sure.
I don't know.
I wonder if it's related to that other coral we saw earlier, the Bathy alcyon, the mushroom soft coral.
Right.
It could be.
So cool.
Yeah.
I can try and come around the other side. You might get closer if you want. Maybe.
I could look at this all day.
Never seen anything like it.
It seems like in some places the edges of that kind of encrusting part are kind of rolled up
Rolled
or
up,
just
yeah.
thicker on the edges.
It's like a pizza crust.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Crispin Little just came on the science chat and he says it's an encrusting octocoral.
All right. Nice.
Well, I think it might be related to that other one, Bathy alcyon.
So he's
my
saying this
hunch.
one is described as it's just a species of encrusting octocoral.
Wow.
Well, that's all I said. Crispin, tell us more. So the slurp method, you think that'll work?
Yeah, I think so.